Hello, I'm Aiko, and I specialize in posting movie reviews. I would like to share a lot of movie reviews, thoughts, and questions. Oh, everyone, please subscribe to the channel. In this review, I will talk about the story without spoilers up to the middle. If you are concerned about the second half, please watch the movie and then listen to my story. This time we will be focusing on the American-British-Polish co-production The Zone of Interest. Directed by Jonathan Glazer. The cast includes Christian Friedel in the lead role, and Sandra Huller. The film won Best International Feature Film and Best Sound at the 2024 Academy Awards. The story goes something like this. The main character, Rudolf Hess, is the commandant of the Auschwitz concentration camp. He lives with his wife and 5 children in a stylish house on land a wall away from the camp. The camp's watchtower can be seen through a barbed wire fence beyond a beautiful, well-maintained garden with lots of flowers and plants. Under the clear blue sky, gunshots and screams could be heard constantly from the other side of the wall, mixed with the sounds of mysterious heavy machinery. However, the family lived a peaceful life. This is the story. First of all, it's quite difficult to understand what's going on in this movie without this much prior information. And even though I knew this much about the content and watched it, I found it quite difficult to understand everything. As for the content beyond this, there are spoilers no matter where you cut it. However, even if you know the spoiler, whether you can understand it or not is another matter. From the beginning, the movie depicts the peaceful life of a family. Even though the war was going on, my family lived in Auschwitz, Poland, where I was transferred from Germany, as if nothing had happened. There is a river flowing near the house, and the Hess family plays in the water. On the protagonist's birthday, the family celebrates and even gives him a canoe-like boat as a present. Her wife is focusing on raising children and gardening, and spends her days choosing clothes that arrive as gifts. If you know the general story, you can understand that this alone is a very frightening situation. Regarding the images, most of the images we know of from Auschwitz and World War II are black and white and grainy. But in this movie, rich green is used as the image color, creating very natural colors. I thought it was, in reality at the time, it was so clear. I think that's what this movie wanted to express visually. One thing that bothered me about the camera work was that it was mainly a fixed camera that was set up in front of the subject. There aren't many close-ups, so it's hard to read the emotions of the main characters. I think this method was probably used because I wanted to objectively show the situation at the time rather than depicting their emotions. Another thing that is elaborate is the sound. It's a movie with almost no music, so if you listen carefully to hear what kind of sounds you hear, I think you'll be able to understand the essence of this movie. I think the message of this movie is exactly that, interest. It's a movie that really makes you think about how you should or should not be interested in it. In filmmaking, I'm always looking for themes from a perspective that hasn't been seen before. There have been many films that depict the inside and outside of the Auschwitz concentration camp, but none that depict the people living next door like this. I think this work explores what can be seen by depicting these people. I would like to express this movie in terms of scores. It's 85 points. To be honest, my biggest impression is that it's difficult. Maybe that's why I made it to make you think about various things. Now, from here on out, there will be spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie yet, please subscribe, like, and then close your browser or app. For those of you who have seen this movie, how did you feel about it? I had known about the content since the Academy Awards, so I was very interested. and when I was watching the movie, I was wondering when the scene in the concentration camp was going to come out and when things would change for this family. However, there was no such scene that we could have expected. I felt that the film had a strong intention to depict the tragedy of Auschwitz without directly depicting the concentration camp. Still, at the end of the movie, a scene suddenly appears in which a modern museum is being cleaned, and many of the belongings of the deceased are shown. In a sense, I thought this was a service cut by the director. Earlier I said that the message is whether you are interested or not. The family lives a peaceful life, but the reality is that they are hearing so many sounds, and if they wanted to be interested, they could have known what was going on next door. I thought so. Those families probably knew what was going on. I decided to maintain my indifference and continue living my current life. On the way, my wife's mother came to stay, but she suddenly disappeared. I think she just heard the noise, realized what was going on next door, and ran away. I thought maybe she didn't have to leave without saying a word, but the sound was so unbearable. On the other hand, the family in that house would not be able to live there unless they were indifferent. But the question is, what can that family do if they are interested in what's going on next door? Should she make her husband stop the massacre, or should she run away from that place? I thought those wives also knew how helpless they were. What I didn't understand at all was the scene where the screen suddenly turns black and white at night. It was a 12-year-old Polish girl who would sneak into the camp at night and hide apples for the Jews there. There are some really big changes in the video, but there's not much explanation and it's hard to understand what's going on. I felt like I wasn't sure if that method was correct or not. However, this director is the same person who made the video for Jamiroquai's Virtual Insanity, so he may be good at creating mysterious spaces. Well, what do you think? While other war dramas often emphasize the intensity of the battlefield and heroic actions, Area of Interest focuses on the humanity and ethical issues behind war. In particular, it captures the Holocaust from the perspective of the perpetrators, depicting the contrasting worlds of peaceful domestic life and tragedy in the concentration camps, eliciting deep emotional responses from the audience and bringing the effects of war closer to home. I thought it had the effect of making you feel. Overall, Area of Interest brings a new perspective to the war drama genre, encouraging audiences to dig deeper into the nature of war and human psychology. This makes it an impressive work that stands out from other war dramas. On this channel, we are looking for movies that you would like us to review. Please comment or contact us. We will continue to post movie reviews that you will like. Please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next work. The show must go on.